This is the Medallion. And he asked about this thing. I'm going to tell you right now, beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is the... Hello, travelers. It is a Traveling Tuesday, and you guys know that I have been asking you questions. Is there anything you want to know? And the reason we're calling this Traveling Tuesday is because we're kind of away from Disney. We're doing something a little different today. We had a fellow traveler, ask the question. The traveler was Grandpa Eric. He asked the question about the Princess Medallion. And the reason he asked this question about the Princess Medallion, that right there, or in this form right here, necklace form, he wanted to know because he is going on a cruise, I believe, coming up to Alaska on the beautiful Star Princess. Lord knows I'd love to be on that cruise. This ship, you guys know that we took this ship in November for our group cruise, celebrating 5 years of traveling around Disney. Had our group cruise, had a fantastic time. First time ever on a Princess cruise. And I can honestly say it will not be the last time on a Princess cruise. We stayed in the cabana deck. It was on deck 9. We had the private cabana deck. If you guys haven't seen any of those videos or would like to go back and see those videos, I will link the playlist in the descriptions for all of the Star Princess. It was a 3-nighter. Wish it would have been a 4, 5, 6, 7. It didn't matter. It needed to be longer. This was a fantastic ship. Look at that. It's absolutely. I love these little models. You guys know I love to collect the models. But Eric asked about the medallion. So I figured I'd answer some questions. This is the medallion here. It also came in necklace form right here. Let me get it out. Now, Michelle kept hers on a bracelet. And actually, Jeffrey and Monica had some bracelets that they gave us. And so did Melanie gave the group cruise bracelets that you could pop your medallion, which is right here. This is the medallion. And he asked about this thing. I'm going to tell you right now, beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is the best technology at sea. Whoever came up with this, hopefully they are now a VP or in charge of something at Princess, but the medallion system blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. Now, they have different accessories that you can put your medallion in. They had watch bands looking like Apple Watch bands. I'm going to have to get that in later. That's a little harder. But I always wore mine as a necklace. And actually, the reason I wore it as a necklace is I found out I could put it, and I'm going to show you. I could put my medallion on, of course, if you want to be, bougie and let everybody see what level medallion you are, because, there was Premier, there's Plus, and all this good stuff, which we found out we'll talk about. It tells you your cruising date, which was November 7th, and is your name's actually on it right there. So I could actually put it in my shirt, wear it around, and you never knew I had it on. That was the beautiful thing about that. Plus, the medallion replaced all of this type of stuff right here. All of these, those key cards that you get from the other cruise lines and stuff, replaced all that. I didn't need these on the Princess cruise. So I'll go over some of the questions that Eric asked, and hopefully he's still a fellow traveler with us, and hopefully he has a great cruise. I know it's coming up this summer, and the Star Princess is heading to Alaska. I think we even have a traveler that's going on the repositioning cruise of the Star Princess from Fort Lauderdale to Alaska. Man, what a cruise. I think it's like a 21-day cruise. Absolutely beautiful. But Eric asked about the medallion. He wanted to, and right there, it's on the back. MedallionClass, whatever, right there. First thing you wanted to know, how does your photo attach? The photo attaches to your medallion is the same photo that you take to send to the cruise line for your, if you've ever been on a cruise. If you haven't, you always have to send a copy of whoever's going to be in the cabin, a picture against a blank wall. It looks like a mugshot half the time, so make sure you're, got a decent picture. But you send your picture to the cruise line. Disney does this, Royal Caribbean, everybody gets a picture of you. But on the medallion, it is linked to your medallion with Princess. So that is the picture you send, because when you approach your room, and this is one of the benefits, you don't have to fumble for a key card. You don't have to do all that. The screen on the outside of your room will automatically know it's you, show your picture on the screen, and will unlock your door. And you're in your room. Never have to fumble for the key cards. Never have to do all that stuff. Oh, I got to find my key card. Got to get it. Don't need it with the medallion. See, and I still got it attached here. So you don't need it for that. So once you enter your room, this will always also turn on your air conditioners. So if there's a medallion in the room, your air can stay on, but it'll automatically turn your air conditioners and your environmental settings in your room. No longer, I know a lot of people used to get the card, and some of the other cruises, you still have to, like on a Disney cruise, you have to slide a old key card or something into the slot so it'll keep the air running and all that. With this medallion system, it automatically turns on. It is absolutely wonderful. So that is how your picture and how your medallion works for your room. And trust me, when you pass your room, your picture will flash up there. Even if you're going from one side to the other, if you're going to somebody else's room, it knows who you are. Do you still carry other ID aboard? I always carry other ID aboard. You never know. I always carry my wallet. You don't need to carry I didn't carry my passport on board and all that, but I always had my ID just in case they needed to check anything, a picture or anything like that. So always carry your ID anyway. But remember, don't use your credit card. You can't use your credit cards on cruise ships and stuff like that. Usually, most everything is either charged to your room or charged to your medallion. And trust me, if you're close enough, you don't even need to tap it sometimes. They know who you are. That's another thing we'll get into. When getting off the ship, is the other ID required? Yes. I had to show my photo ID as well as my medallion when I would board back onto the ship. So like I said, I always carry my other ID, no matter where, on the ship, off the ship, I always have it available. Is it needed for onboard activities for like comedy shows or musical events? Now, it isn't needed for those. Anybody can go to those events and everything. But if you're a premier or a different level medallion, depending on what package you've gotten or what you've earned with Princess and all that, it will let the cast on the ship know where exactly you should sit. Because there are some, some people are plus. It's okay. It's okay. We were plus. That was fine. And some people were premier. And they got to sit on different areas. And they can actually scan your medallion and say, yes, you can sit in this section, or no, those are reserved for certain levels and stuff like that. So you don't need it to enter a show, but if you paid for the premiere or the other packages, they'll scan it to see where you are. Remember, they can also do it by your room number. Sometimes people do forget their medallions, but it makes it so much easier. Always have your medallion. So Eric, hopefully I answered your questions, everything you had. Requests for for dining. I didn't answer that. You do not need your medallion for your rotational dining and all that good stuff. Specialty dining you may. We didn't do any specialty dining on this. I will tell you though, if you have your medallion on and you're doing your it's not rotational on that, Disney's rotational dining. If you're doing your dining on Princess in the main dining room, they will know who you are and what you like with your medallion. So the first night, I usually get like a Moscato, a glass of wine, just to have a dinner, just because I can, because I buy the drink package on the cruises. So I usually get that. First night, they asked me what I would like, all that. They knew my room number from the medallion and all that. After that, they asked me, Mr. Strobel, would you like your Moscato tonight? I was like, how'd they well, first of all, they remember very well. They always keep notes on everybody. But this medallion right here will let anybody that is a crew member, that is a service-oriented, they will know who you are, what you like, what you want to do, and stuff like that. So like we had went to a couple shows and I'd ordered a beverage there. The next night, the server walked up to me and said, Mr. Strobel, would you like the same drink that you had last night? And he knew everything. It was already, the medallion tells you that. When you walk up to a bar, the medallion lets them know who you are. They called me by my name every time I approached to get a croissant, to get a coffee, whatever it was. Any of the cast members, even the cast members in the buffet area, they will get your drinks and stuff, and they know by your medallion where you're located, so they can bring them to you. They even called me by name. So, if we're going to talk about the medallion, I will have to say this is the best technology at sea of any cruise line. Any cruise line. I will put this up against anybody's. This, I will say Virgin's probably comes in a close second, but Princess has nailed this. Whoever came up with this medallion system, absolutely fantastic. Took the cards out of your pocket, took the fumbling away from there, didn't have to make sure I had it. It was absolutely wonderful. Like I said, there's different accessories you can get. There was a keychain thing that you could hang from your purse. There was a watch that looked more like a fancy watch. There was just all kinds of stuff that you could do with your medallions. I absolutely love Princess Medallion system. Now, if you guys have ever used the medallion, and I know some of you travelers were on the cruise with us, the group cruise, which, by the way, we're getting ready to announce our 2026 group cruise. So if you're wanting to go on a group cruise, we are choosing another cruise line. I will tell you that. It won't be a Princess, but we will be back on the Princess sooner or later. But this technology blew me away. I absolutely loved it. I'm sure there are some people that have difficulties with it. I'm sure there's some people that love it, some people that don't want everybody to know who they are and all that. Totally get that. But for us, for me and Michelle, and for many of our group cruisers, they love this technology. And I still think it might be the best technology at sea. And the Star Princess, I know she has a sister, the Sun Princess, but the Star Princess was absolutely a gorgeous, beautiful ship. And everybody says, we should try this Princess cruise. You should try this. Princess knocked it out of the park for us. Love Princess. We're getting ready to go on a celebrity cruise in March. Love celebrity cruises. I love all the cruises, but we do have a ranking. This is going to be like a Tuesday thing, a traveling Tuesday, because this was a question. I ask you travelers, send in your questions. Let me answer them for you. And like I said, Grandpa Eric, he sent me one. I think he sent me this back in November. And I've kept it in my phone since then. So I knew I would be answering that question sooner or later. I'm sorry it was later, Eric, but I hope that I answered all your questions. If you've got more, please leave it in the comments down below. If you travelers got any more questions about Princess or the medallion system, leave it in the comments down below. And travelers, don't forget, if you're not yet a fellow traveler, remember we travel everywhere, just not always Disney. I know our name says traveling around Disney, but we go all over the place. Like I said, celebrity in March. Cannot wait, cannot wait. And our group cruise coming up, in 2026. Oh, when you do your cruise, you will order your medallions. It'll come in a box like this. They usually come 3 weeks prior to your sailing. You'll get them in the mail. If you don't happen to get them in the mail, don't panic. They've got 2 different lines when you're aboard, when you go to board the ship. One people with medallions and ones that didn't get their medallions or didn't register for their medallions go in. So there's 2 different lines. It makes it really easy, very simple. If you have the medallions, it is a plus. I'm not going to say it's not. But this will come usually about 3 weeks. We got ours 3 weeks before the cruise, and we were the first ones for the Star Princess out of Fort Lauderdale. It was our inaugural first sailing out of there. So our medallions were a little delayed. I think it might have been even 2 weeks. Everybody was panicking, but I think everybody got them. So you do get these in the mail. You will go on to your Princess website, and it'll ask you, would you like us to mail your medallions to your home? And of course, you're going to do that and have it sent. But I hope this answered all the questions. I like doing this. It's something a little bit different. And I think we're going to do like a Traveling Tuesday. What do you guys think about this concept? Might not be every Tuesday. Might not get all the questions. Might not be traveling as far and wide as we want to during the week before or the week of. But I hope you guys like this. Like I said, if you're not yet a fellow traveler, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button down below. Right down there. And don't forget, and I'm going to publish everything every time I do it. Right up here. Bricklets Club, Michelle's Lego channel's right up here. She's doing a great job. She's trying to get videos up for you guys and everything. So thank you so much for your support for her channel, support for our channel. Can't say more positive things about Princess Cruise for us. The medallion system, absolutely loved it. I love the medallion system. I'm just a big fan. So travelers, thank you so much for traveling along with us today. But travelers, like we always say, until next time, travel and adventure is out there.